After its founding in 1929, Dalat School continued to serve a small number of children from missionary families living in French Indochina, now known as Vietnam. Dalat's student body totaled 3 students in the first year: George Irwin, grade 6, Evangel Travis, grade 3, and Harriet Stebbins, grade 1. All were taught by Miss Armia Heikkinen in a rented home while a large 2-story school was constructed. The students lived in a family-like environment with Uncle and Auntie Herb and Lydia Jackson, CNMA missionaries serving as dorm parents and school director, a role they kept for 20 years. Often the Jacksons would take the children into the jungle villages of a people group they hoped to reach with the gospel. They would either walk or ride out on horseback, since only footpaths connected the city to these villages. These experiences led 2 of Dalat's first students, George Irwin and Harriet Stebbins, to develop a deep love for the local people. In fact, both of them independently committed their lives to return as missionaries to Vietnam while studying at Dalat School. The Irwin family's home assignment came due in 1934, so George completed his junior and senior year of high school in Toronto, Canada. He then attended Nyack Missionary Institute, now Nyack College, and completed his training to become a missionary and return to French Indochina. But World War II erupted, and George joined the Royal Canadian Air Force. Meanwhile, Harriet had graduated from Dalat in 1941, Dalat's first graduating class. A year later, she also entered Nyack Missionary Institute to prepare for missionary service. During her first year at Nyack, she received a letter from her old schoolmate, George Irwin. They began corresponding, then courted, and finally married on November 28, 1945, at Nyack, right after George's discharge from the Air Force. Together in 1947, they returned to Vietnam and to the people and place they had both loved so dearly. The new couple worked with the same people group they had known and loved while growing up in Dalat. They taught about Jesus, translated the Bible into the local language, provided medical care, and taught literacy. In 1975, the North Vietnamese launched a massive assault to overthrow the South Vietnamese government. George and Harriet were forced to evacuate with a few of their things and soon left the country, never to return. But the Irwins didn't retire from missionary work after leaving Vietnam. They continued working with Vietnamese refugees in Canada, the United States, and Europe. And their own children became missionaries in Vietnam, sending their children to Dalat School as well. In all, at least 40 family members from 3 generations of Irwins and Stebbins attended Dalat. George and Harriet finally retired in 1990 and returned to Canada. In 2007, George and Harriet both passed away within 2 months of each other. The legacy of Dalat School and George and Harriet lives on in the lives of those who have been changed by their work and have been inspired to serve others.